I'm going to offer you another little conclusion that I have come to. This one's not particularly tricky, but it's one that we tend to forget. So that's why I want to talk about it. So I'm here near some beautiful petroglyphs, as you can see. So there's a figure there. There are a series of concentric circles. There's what I think is probably a snake on the top, or a millipede. Next to it there's a different type of circle. There's a sort of well, it's one that starts in the center and expands out, which is kind of curious. There we go, you can see that one there. And then over here, this guy I have seen many times all over the place, and you can see there's an enormous snake underneath it. And what I want to talk about today is that I have no idea what these mean. I am led to believe perhaps that the concentric circles are a point of emergence into this world from another, but we'll never know, because these people, no matter how hard we try, we can't get inside their heads. And that's what I want to tell you. No matter how hard you think you know someone, no matter how hard you think you know what they're thinking, you haven't a clue. You have a guess, but your guess is based around your own rules, your own understanding, the way that your thought processes build reality. And somebody else's is different from that. And why is that important? Well, it opens the keys to say somebody else's perception that I may completely disagree with feels right to them. It makes sense to them. But for the grace of God sort of thing, I could think like they think, right? I have a series of experiences that have led me to the way that I think, that makes sense to me. And they've got a series of experiences that have led them to think in their way, and it makes sense to them. And who's to say which one's right and which one's wrong? We can look at incontrovertible evidence. We can adopt a scientific approach, and we can try and make sense of what it is that makes sense and what is nonsense. But I think if someone truly holds on to a firm belief, it's very, very useful to consider the fact that maybe, at the very least, maybe 5% of what they're saying might be true. Yeah, that an element of it must be true, because otherwise they would have jettisoned it by now, most probably. If you can't get inside someone's head, if you'll never understand truly what it is that is going on inside their mind, you have to grant yourself greater tolerance for your fellow man. So it brings a set of harmonizing principles, for me at least. You can't be intolerant with someone when no matter how hard you try, no matter how sure you may be, it turns out that your surety is misplaced, misguided, and that there are always different ways of looking at it, and somebody else has a different way of looking at it. And you might feel that your way is right. You might have forgotten that your way is a way of thinking. It might just feel like reality. It might just feel like you. But the truth is more fluid than that. That, I think, is tremendously important when it comes to relating with other people. It raises your tolerance. It raises your fascination. It raises your curiosity for what's going on in someone else's mind. It's like an itch that you can't completely scratch, but you can become very, very curious. And there's a lot of beauty in that. So the gifts of understanding it are beauty, peace, tolerance, friendship. Probably a whole lot of other stuff that I can't think about right now. And that all came from me staring at a few petroglyphs and wondering, what on earth they were thinking. Maybe it's just graffiti. Maybe they weren't thinking. Maybe there is no message. Maybe I'm trying to find a message where there is no message. Maybe the message is so profound that I simply can't understand it with my knowledge of the world that has been encapsulated in the trappings of 20th century society. All right, thanks for watching. If this is of interest, go subscribe. Have a look at my other videos. All right, cheers.